when the phone rings.
More breathing.
I hear the same breathing again and say, "Hello, who is this?" To my surprise, a man replies and says, "Hello, kitten. Do you remember me?"
There was a time that my YouTube gaming channel's popularity was really surging, up until the point that I had about 300,000 subscribers. Now, the activity is nowhere near it used to be because a lot of the games that made the channel so popular are no longer as relevant as they used to be, and a bunch of changes that I made to it. Lessons learned, you know, but it's just to say at one time I had a significant following and fan base. And I don't say that to impress you, just to give you the idea of that I had a lot of people that knew me that I did not know. So most of the time when you meet someone that knows you or watches your videos, it's a pleasant interaction, and every once in a while you meet people that are a little bit more awkward than others. And I had to say that most of the time when you do meet these people, it's on common ground. It's at a gaming convention or an event that surrounds the industry that you're in that makes it a pleasant experience. But every once in a while, I would get recognized when I was not ready for it. I was a little caught off guard, and sometimes those interactions kind of felt like my privacy was a little invaded, but I never felt scared. Now, I do know a lot of stories about people kind of like me that have had very, very, very unfriendly interactions and a lot of hate, and that comes along with the territory too, and even people getting threats and doxxed and all sorts of different things that I'm really, really happy that me or my family never had to experience. But to say the least, anything stalker related really, really hits home for me because I have a small understanding of what it is to be popular to someone that you don't necessarily know or want to share an experience with. You don't want to share time with or a relationship with, especially when there's sexual attraction involved and stuff. There's some really, really scary stuff that goes on. We're going to react to a story today about a stalker, and it's by Spooked. Make sure to head on over to his channel and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well, guys. Let's get into the story.
For context, this was back in the 90s when we had a landline phone and dial-up internet.
Oh, I don't miss that at all.
9 years old when my mom started leaving me at home with my oldest brother while she went to work.
All right.
My brother was much older, around 17 at the time.
Oh wow, almost double.
As with most teenage boys, his favorite thing to do was sleep really late during the day and stay up all night playing games.
Right.
I remember being bored, playing with my Barbies in the living room of my house.
Okay.
With the blinds wide open to let some light in.
So it's a girl.
I would sit there for hours and play. When Mom was gone, she always told us to answer the phone when it rang, in case she was calling to check on us.
Yeah.
And make sure we were okay.
With landline phones.
I remember one day specifically, I answered the phone and I just heard loud breathing on the other end of the phone.
Look at that old phone. I had one kind of like that. Oh,
I
that's
remember
creepy.
saying hello, but no one would reply, so I would eventually hang up.
Of course.
This went on daily for about 2 months, and it was always in the morning time.
Nowadays, you would think that would just be butt dialing, right? But back in the day, when you had a phone like that, somebody actually had to physically dial a number and breathe. Now, there was a lot of prank calls that would happen back then, you know, before everything was tracked as much as it is now. But I would think that would be really creepy anyway.
My brother was asleep. Being a naive 9-year-old girl, I didn't really think anything of it.
Sure.
And eventually the call stopped. A few months go by and I'm sitting in my living room floor again when the phone rings.
More breathing.
I hear the same breathing again and say, "Hello, who is this?" To my surprise, a man replies and says, "Hello, kitten. Do you remember me?" I remember being surprised that he called me kitten, but replying that he had the wrong number.
Huh.
He then replies, "No, kitten, I have the right number. You're wearing a kitty shirt right now."
Oh my God.
I remember looking down and immediately panicking and hanging up the phone when I see the tabby kitten on my shirt.
Hang up the phone, pick it back up, 911. That immediately. Somebody's watching you and's got the guts to call you and got your number. They definitely mean you harm. Do not even fart around. Call the police.
The phone then rings again and I refuse to answer it.
Of course.
I run up to wake up my brother and he sleepily follows me to the living room. The phone rings again and he answers it, but no one is there.
Of course.
He unplugs the phone and tells me that it is just my imagination and to leave him alone so he can sleep.
What?
Being scared, I decided to close the windows and sit on the couch until my mom got home that
Good
afternoon.
idea.
That night, I told my mom what happened, but my brother told her I was making it up and that he didn't see or hear anything.
Oh.
I think my mom believed me, but she just told me to hang up the phone if it wasn't her and to never open the door for a stranger. I agreed and told her I wouldn't.
Of course.
The next day, my mom was off work and she took me to the store with her.
All right.
We were walking around when I noticed a man in a long trench coat. I thought the coat was weird, but didn't really think anything else of it. We then ran into one of my mom's friends, who has a daughter my age.
Okay.
My mom and her friend were chatting away, and my friend and I were standing a few feet from them, messing with some birthday cards.
Okay.
We went around to the other side of the cards to look, out of sight of our moms. Suddenly, the man with the trench coat is right near us, looking at cards too. He then picks up a card and turns to me and my friend and says hello. Being polite, we respond hello. He then starts picking up cards, saying he is getting his daughter something, and asks what we'd like. My friend points to a random card and he smiles and says, "That is nice." He then picks up another card and shows it to us. The card has kittens all over it.
Of course.
And he looks directly at me and says, "I'm sure you like kittens, don't you?" I didn't really know how to respond.
Dude.
I remember feeling extremely nervous.
Yeah.
He smiled when he saw me getting nervous and says, "Kittens and Barbies."
Wow.
This kicked my fight or flight into action.
Yeah.
I nervously laughed and said we had to go back to our moms now. The man then reaches out and grabs my arm. My friend takes off running around the corner to get my mom.
What?
The man tries to pull me to the front of the store, but I kick him as hard as I can and go flying out of his grip.
Wow.
He then gets up and runs out the door about the time my mom makes it over to me.
Dude.
To my knowledge, they never found the man, but my mom was extremely paranoid after hearing the link between the phone calls and the incident, and she found a new house in the city right over from us not even a month later.
God.
Thankfully, that was the last time I heard from him.
Can you imagine the gall to just grab her arm and start running with her? This dude was off his damn rocker. And a sicko, no telling what would have happened if he got a hold of her, man. Oh my God. Bruh, you gotta listen to your kids when there's warning signs like that. At least investigate a little bit further. You can't just dismiss things, especially if there's details that are pertinent, like, you know, that I've been getting phone calls. There's events leading up to this craziness, you know? There's a lot of people that don't know how to ask for help, man. But if you ever feeling like this, you need to talk to people about it, because, man, it just makes me crazy that people do stuff like this. God, y'all stay safe out there, guys, please. As far as the reaction, I really hope that y'all liked it. Spook's channel is going to be right there, and another couple videos that I reacted to from Spooked. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.